Caylin is one of our star students. I first met Caylin last year when he was a first-year student, and he was finding his way around the school, and he quickly established himself as a student leader and as a really important part of our community.
Since arriving, since coming to law school, Caylin has been a proponent of recruitment without being asked. He has stepped up and taken that lead and never been charged with it. Since his time here, Caylin has sent me, I can easily say, 10 extremely qualified applicants. And he understands, that pipeline issue. How do we get out there into the community? How do we get qualified applicants and get them in here?
And that's how I met Caylin, because he wasn't the president of BALSA, he wasn't an officer at that time, but his commitment to the community and to these students was so real. He just was very powerfully involved with the project from the get-go. And it struck me, I thought, who is this young man and what a fabulous person.
He's taken that charge on his own. He's also done it through BALSA. He's become very aware. Last year, Caylin had set up a program. It was through his contacts as a former teacher with one of the city schools, and when we did a program called, BALSA did a program called Know Your Rights. And what that program was is we went into the high schools, I mean BALSA, went into the high schools, and they spoke with students about police stop etiquette. With the recent police shootings and interaction with law enforcement and people of color, particularly men of color, they felt there was a need there. Immediately, BALSA and Caylin stepped up and took care of that need. They've been doing it ever since.
There are social occasions, and I've been especially impressed with Caylin's work in mobilizing BALSA on important public policy issues like police misconduct. In the aftermath of the Ferguson decision, our Black Law Students Association staged a protest in front of the law school. I was glad to tell them that that was a very appropriate thing because law is an agent of social change.
I'm very glad that he is going to share his talents across the country because he has a lot to offer. And we've been fortunate to have Caylin Young here at University of Baltimore Law School, and we know that he's a young man who is the real deal. He's committed and he's focused and he's a real leader. So I think it's a tremendous thing that he's looking to share those talents more broadly around the country.
What separates Caylin from many other people is he's so willing to step up and do something. Right? And he does it with a smile. He understands there's a need, he's the first one to address it, and he's the first one to act on it. That's one of the things I've always respected and initially known about Caylin from the start.
He's a charismatic leader, he's well respected by his fellow students, and I appreciate all the work that he does to enlighten all students about important issues in the community. The Black Law Students Association is going to be holding its convention here in Baltimore next March. And it would be a very exciting thing if one of our students was national chair of the organization. Caylin would be a fabulous leader. He would speak to the students and to the wider world about the important issues that BALSA addresses in law schools and beyond. I think he would be great in that role, and I'm rooting for him. I hope he's going to get it, and I think he's going to get it.
So we're hoping to continue that partnership, with Caylin and with BALSA going forward.